The story of Sumaya from Somalia, how she left America back to Egypt, then to Somalia, where she found a husband who was forced to marry her. In the last episode, she gave us the narration how this happened. And now in this episode, we're going to look at how did she manage to run away from Somalia to America. This is PTMTV with me, Professor Ezekiel, on the journey. How the young girls are forced into marriage, how the young girls are defiled, how the parents are taking the opportunity for their young ones in Somalia. Have a look.
Oh, what's happening? Part 2. Now, I was sent to Hargeisa, okay? As I was sent to Hargeisa, this is summer, June 2011. I was there for 3 months. The 3 months that I was there was June, July, and August, okay? During this time frame I was there, I had the $1,000 that you guys knew because it was older like to now. During that time frame, I did go shopping maybe once, and I got myself a little dress, a little habaya, and a hijab. I don't think I went shopping for more than that one item, but what I did used to do was use maybe $1 or $2 per day for snacks and just little shitty shit that I was getting up to, okay? I wasn't using a lot of money is what I'm trying to get at, okay? I'm only 16 at this point. What the fuck would I be using money for, okay? And I didn't have no habits, no balwat, no nothing, okay? I am sober girl, no issues at this point. Now Hargeisa kicks up. I made some friends, and then during this time frame, the elder that I was staying with, which was my dad's brother's wife, right? She was like, every so I would sit there with her, and she would tell me all of these little stories about little girls. Oh, go hebel sana semester we ararte we at the embassy awiya gurigoda ku celiya kana sameeya but every single day it's one girl, one boy, somebody she knows, somebody she doesn't know, just different stories, okay? At this point I'm taking notes, because why not? Because I can see my situation is looking a little bit dire. Nobody wants me to go back home. I'm calling my mom during like the 3 months that I'm staying there. I'm calling my parents' house. Nobody wants to pick up my fucking phone call. And if I pick up, it's my siblings picking up, telling me, yeah, mom and dad not around. And I'm asking them, are you sure mom and dad are not around? They're like, yeah, the man are not around still. I don't know why they're not calling you, but the man are not around right now. I'll tell them to call you. Bro, do they call me? No, but they're speaking to Edo every other night, every once a week or twice a week, bro. But when I call them, oh yo, bro, I felt neglected. I'll be honest, during that time frame, I'll tell you this now, during that time frame, it was a Mazzolini. I used to pray to God, say, God, I don't know what kind of situation this is, but I feel like I'd be better off with no parents. Yeah, that's how I felt. Bro, I'll be honest, I was 16, feeling stranded in the middle of nowhere with dusty ass people around me. Bro, what do you mean? Edna's here telling me all of these things, and then she's reporting back to my family, telling them, hey, وحنت كان اسمنا سمجالة ذا وركتا كان اسمنا سبب. And I even wasn't doing half the shit that she was telling me I was doing. Anyways, now two twos. Time goes on, and she's put all of these stories in my head. I've cocked up a plan. I've been around a city. I found out like bus stops, buses, where they go out from, where they go, what other, like, I've gone through the map, like what other pit stops I need to make. I've made my personal plan of my exit plan, okay? This is a backup of a backup, I don't know. Anyways, Hargeisa in itself is a different story. If you don't want to know what the fuck I got up to 2011, let me know, because it's a Mazzolini, okay? Come now July, like ending of ending of August, coming beginning of September, my Edo, the person I was staying with, needed to go back to London, and she then, I don't know, cocked up a plan. This is what I'm finding out now in real life, but I didn't know this at the time because I was gullible, no contact with her family, no nothing. I feel neglected, bro. I was believing anything at this point. Now, so she tells me she doesn't even tell me. So she apparently goes to her sister who lived literally down the road, and she had daughters like my age or something, so I was kind of friends with the daughters. So she went to her sister and then said, hey, this is basically, I spoke to Sumayya's dad, and her dad said basically he's gonna come down to Somalia, he's gonna come down to Somaliland, and he's gonna take her from Somaliland down to South Somalia where Al Shabaab is, and he's gonna marry her off to a Shabaab guy. Bro, when I like the auntie's daughter comes running to me and says, Sumaya, this is what I heard. This was the conversation between my mom and Habaria, and this is what's going on. I don't know. What do you want to do? I said, what? That's what's going on. I said, later. Second time forced marriage. This time Al Shabaab. I said, fuck no, over my dead body. I said, this ain't happening. So guess what I did? I packed up my shit, got myself a little suitcase, got my essentials and everything, and I said, hey. And then as soon as she dipped out, because she was leaving in the next, like, she was leaving in a few days. So the day that she was leaving like, I had 24 hours between the time that she was leaving and the time that my dad was landing. Just 24 hours. So in that 24 hours, I needed to be up and out of the city, because bro, what the fuck. Anyways, so now auntie leaves in the morning, and as soon as she leaves, I had a car ready. The night beforehand, I called up a car and I was like, hey Khaled, so as soon as she dipped the fuck out, I had the car ready and I dipped the fuck out. And where the fuck did I go? I went from Hargeisa to Garowe. I went back to Garowe. And I only went back to Garowe because I had my cousin. Do you remember the cousin that I went with? The friends that basically she was staying with some of her friends, and I ended up going to stay at the same friend's house because we developed a friendship over that course of the situation. So I went back to their place and I went there. And at this point I had about $300 to myself. I had $350, maybe $300, I'm not too sure, to my name from that 1,000, and Edo was like, yeah, this is the only money that I have left for you. So it was a little bit content, something like that. And I'm looking at her, I was like, Edo, I'm expecting at least like the least amount I'm expecting is the most is 7 بقل. Like, I don't know why you mean to say you're giving me 300 and now you're telling me, this is all I have for you. What the fuck? Where did the 700 go? You're telling me I myself, who was not even doing anything, I wasn't buying food, I wasn't buying anything, I went through $700 in the space of what? 3 months in Hargeisa at the age of 16. Come on, fair. And I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't even leaving the area. So come, how does that work? Anyways, now I had $300 to my name. I got myself a little cargo journey going back to Garowe. I put a niqab on as well because I couldn't really have no I saw her, you see her picture, I saw her, I could not have none of that. So I put a niqab on, put my little bati on, acted like a full-on Somali, and I decided, we went to Garowe. I went to Garowe. I chilled with the girls for like a week. I think it was less than a week, a few days I chilled there. And as I was chilling there, basically the girls were telling me, hey, they have a cousin that lives in Ethiopia and that she can come down to the border and help you out. So I had to wait for a couple of days while her cousin came down from the city to the border to come pick me up. So while that was happening, the girls also gave me $150 to top up my monies, and I was on my way. So as soon as I left, I went back to Hargeisa. I stayed the night in Hargeisa at a hotel, and then I left the next morning on a gari to Wachale, the border of Somaliland and Somaliland, Ethiopia. The girl came to the border. They had a hotel there the night. She came with her boyfriend, and they basically said, we're gonna chill here for a couple of hours, and then when it gets a bit more quieter, we're gonna cross the border. So that's what we did. We chilled there for a bit and we got some food, and then we crossed the border to Ethiopia. And that was it was like a little thing where basically we just acted like we were part of the people and stuff. They were like, just keep your head down, and they smuggled me all the way down to Jigjiga. And in Jigjiga they made me some paperwork to say that I was Ethiopian resident of Jigjiga and stuff like that, and so that I could move around the rest of Ethiopia a bit more freely and not have people stop me. So they helped me out with that. And anyways, on my way to the capital, I don't know, there was like a city, I don't remember exactly the city of the name, because this was what, like 10 years ago. Like, this is more than 10 years ago, this is 16 years ago, 17 years ago at this point. 16, 15 years ago, 16. I'm turning 32, 31, 15 years ago. This is 15 years ago. Anyway, so boom, now at this point, we get through that place. This is the city, like it's like a slough to London, like 30-40 minutes outside of the outside of the capital. So we now come to their city, and as we're at their city, okay, during this time frame, I didn't mention the guy, like the girl's boyfriend, kept like trying to catch me at different times, like try to talk to me, try to be touchy-feely. So I was already feeling really uncomfortable around the guy. So anytime like she would try to leave me by her, like himself with her, like by myself with him, I didn't feel comfortable, because I was just like, what are you doing? Because you're creepy, man. And I don't know if she knew about it, I don't know if she's doing it on purposely, because it just seemed a bit much for you not to see what your man is doing. You get what I'm saying? Especially like, bro, he was absolutely being creepy. Anyways, now we get to we get to their city and their apartment and stuff like that. So it was a really late night. We came back, we were all tired. I ended up sleeping in the living room, and all I know is I was asleep, and next thing I know, I wake up to the guy assaulting me, and the girl is nowhere to be found. I tried to run around the house. He kind of was attacking me. We was fighting. Eventually, he had me pinned down at some point, and yeah, he raped me. I tried to leave the house at any point. Like, even after that happened, the house was locked, like under key, and she was not anywhere in the house. The only place I ended up locking myself in was in the bathroom, and I took a shower, and I was really like horrified about this, and I was like, what the fuck? And I kind of felt really mad, because I was just like, what kind of girls, like, did the girls mean for this to happen? Like, what do you mean? Like, it was mad. Anyways, after that happened, I just decided, hey, like, I really need to get going. Like, I can't even say anything at this point, because I don't speak the language, I don't do anything. I just want to get to the embassy. So the next morning they decided, hey, we're gonna get to so basically that same night I was like, hey, we need to go. I don't want to stay no longer. I can't stay here. I need to go to the embassy ASAP. I can't waste any more time, because I just didn't feel any more comfortable staying another night in that house with that man. Oh hell no. So I was like, we need to go now. So we got on a bus from wherever we was to Addis Ababa, and then we checked in a hotel, and we stayed in the hotel that night. So the next morning we wake up and we decide, hey, we googled where the nearest embassy was, and they took me to the embassy, and I left my belongings. My dumb ass should have took my belongings with me. There was no reason for me to have left my belongings there, but it was a little bag, and all I had was like, what, $200 at this point left, or less than that, $150, and my phone, and it was just like little bits and pieces, like memorabilia, my phone, a bit of clothes, items, not even a lot of things, just like I had a backpack. That's all I had. I didn't even have anything else. It wasn't even a backpack, it was a side bag, an Adidas gold side bag. That's all I fucking had, and that was all of my belongings was in there. Anyways, the guys, they took me to the embassy. The embassy took a long time to corroborate my story, who I was, what I was doing. Like, they needed to get the full-on backstory, and luckily at the time I had I had a provisional driver's license, I had a bank card, I had a library card, I had a national insurance number. I had every single thing that you would have in a wallet, basically, that would prove that you lived in a country, basically. I had everything that belonged to me. The only thing that I didn't have was my passport. That's the only thing I didn't have. So while this is going on, I'm telling them this is my story. So they had me tell them my story, and they were like, wait, we need to get somebody like above us to hear your story again. So I sat them they made me repeat my story at least 2 times, and like 2 times full on 2 different times, and then they made me repeat that story a 3rd time on a different day, just to corroborate that I was saying everything again and everything was lining up and there was no lies or anything. So anyways, that after all of this is happening, they released me like maybe like 10 hours after. So I went there like 9 o'clock in the morning, and they let me go around like 6 p.m. Say for example, at the end of the day shift, they let me go 6 p.m. They were like, all right, cool, you can get going. And I was just like, okay, cool, I don't know what to do. So now as I'm doing all of this, like I get myself, like I come outside to the cafe that they were waiting for me. I come to the cafe and look around, they're not even anywhere to be found. I'm thinking, what the fuck, where did they go? So I now make my way back to where the hotel was, because I kind of have like good memory, so I kind of remembered where the hotel was. So I kind of made my way back to the hotel, and I come to the hotel, and the hotel people are telling me, yeah, nobody's there. I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean nobody's there? They were like, yeah, they packed up, they left. I was like, did they leave anything in the room? The lady looked around and she was like, no, they didn't leave nothing. The room was empty. They took everything with them. So yeah, and that's how they robbed me. The same people who helped me robbed me again. This is the life, this is the story of my life. The people who helped me are always the people that fuck me over again. Now, moving forward, I was thinking, fuck, what the fuck am I gonna do? The only thing I have at this point is a wallet, and I've got maybe, that's all I have, a wallet. I don't even have no cash, no money, no nothing, just a wallet. So now I'm looking around thinking, what the fuck am I gonna do? I look around left, right, and I see a Somali auntie shop. And at this point, like, I'm literally on the verge of crying. Like, I just don't know what to do. I'm crying and I'm asking her, can you help me? Can you do this? Like, can, like I don't know what to do at this point. And she's just like, she just like literally just told me, get the fuck out of my house, like, room, I can't help you, move. So I'm thinking, what the hell am I gonna do this? So as I'm doing this and I'm just walking down the side roads, I meet a man, and he turns out to be a Londoner. And he's a Somali man from London as well, so he helps me out. So he says, hey, so I ask him, hey, what's your name? And he sees me crying, bawling my eyes on the side of the road. I was like, hey, I'm from London. I came to Addis Ababa, and I just came back from the embassy, and I don't know what to do. And I'm just like proper, like, absolutely, like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't have nowhere to stay. I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me? So he let me, he got me a hotel room for the night, and he helped me stay. He helped me out, and he got me in contact with his Adar or something, and his Adar took me back to the embassy the next day. I just felt a bit creepy because I just felt like I was going to be used and abused, but the Adar helped me out. He helped me get back to the embassy, and then he helped me get some clothes, because the only clothes that I had was the things that was on the back. Like, I didn't have anything else. I didn't have a change of clothes, because what, the motherfucker stole my clothes. So all I had was the t-shirt and the trousers that I was wearing. I didn't even have anything else. I probably had the one knickers, the trousers that I was wearing, the t-shirt, and a jumper. That's all I was wearing, and I didn't even have anything else. And I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, so he was kind enough to buy me some trousers and some t-shirt, and he took me back to the embassy, because it was a weekend. I had to wait 2 days or 3 days or something. So they took me back to the embassy. The embassy got me a ticket, and they got me my paperwork to sort out and everything else. And it was like a lot of just going back through the court systems, running around, just getting this done, getting that done. It took a long ass time, but once it was done, it was done. And then they let me leave Addis Ababa, and I came back on a flight from Addis to Turkey. And in Turkey, they had to exchange another flight, and the Turkey authorities kind of held on to me, and they were like, your bitches ain't going nowhere. This does not look like a passport. It was not a passport, it was an emergency passport. It was a piece of paper. And they're like, yeah, this don't look right, you ain't going nowhere. And I'm just there crying, no sir, please, I just want to get home. Don't make me sit here for any longer. I just want to get home. I've been traumatized. Anyways, while this is going on, they were like, no, calm down, miss. We need to just call the home office and just make sure it's a go. Basically, we don't want to get in trouble. I was like, all right, cool. I sat there for another 5 hours, and while they figured that out, and they were like, okay, we figured that out, the next flight is in 5 hours, you now need to wait 5 hours. I was like, fuck that shit. So anyways, we came. touched down in London with only the back, like with only me just wearing the t-shirt and the jeans and the things that I was wearing. I wasn't wearing nothing else. With the one pair of clothes that I had that was on my back, that's all I came with. I didn't come with nothing else. Bro, I was even smelling a little bit because I was so self-conscious because I didn't have no spray, no armpits, no nothing. Bro, when I say I felt filthy, disgusting, bro, it was just I was smelling myself. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna fly. I feel like I look like a homeless person, and I did look like a homeless person because I didn't have anything. I didn't have no, like, imagine, like, people are coming on from a long haul flight and this is me, no bag, no nothing, not even a little bag, nothing, just killing it, like, just me and my clothes against the world. Anyways, moving forward, the flight touches down. Before anything happens, before people even get up, what do I hear? Hi, can Sumaya Isa, can please Sumaya Isa come to the forward? Yes, police are here for you. Bro, deeper, you're on a flight with 300 other people and you're hearing your name over the intercom to say, yeah, there's police escort, come, we need you. Bro, I feel like I was in trouble. I'm here now getting up and everybody's just looking back at me like this. Imagine all 300 people just look back at me, you're just there walking. Bro, it was a mad thing. When I say it was crazy, it was crazy. Now I get to the front, I flew through border patrol, and then as soon as the police put me through border patrol, I get put in my hands, like, the police just like, here you go, this is your property now, to social services. And I was put in social services, and I was put in social services. I was 17 at the time. Yeah, I was 17 at the time. It was 16, I can't remember. It's a mad thing, sad thing. Anyways, now life goes on, guys. And you know how my mom found out that I came back in England and I was back home? Bro, I was savage. I picked up the landline. I was at a friend's house. I picked up the landline and I said hi, because I wasn't allowed to make no contact with them because of social services, and they were like, yeah, they deemed them very, very, they were like, your parents are very reckless, they're not safe for you. Anyways, so basically I called up the house line and I was like, hi guys, guess what, guess who's back? Me, I'm back, and I've done it all no thanks to you. So yeah, and that is the story of how I was forced into a marriage, divorced, left Somalia, and brought myself back through the help of the British Embassy. Let me just say a big shout out to the British Embassy, and a big shout out to the forced marriage unit that helped me deal with this, because honestly, if it weren't for the forced marriage unit, I don't think I'd be here, because it was them lot that took the whole thing very seriously. So can I say, you lot saved my life, not once but twice. Like, even in Egypt, I just went to the embassy and I was like, oh my god, I'm in trouble again, help. I think I like trouble loves to find me some way, somehow. Anyways, if you lot want to hear all of the other traumatic, troublesome stories that have happened to me, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, you know. And if you've listened to this all the way to the end, thank you very much. We appreciate the attention span that you have. I sometimes have shitty ones, but we try to move. I even tried to do a part 2 and I said, fuck that shit, let's do this in part 1, all in part 1. You get it? So that's the story of how I got married at the age of 16, divorced within the first year, had a child, ran away from Somalia, child taken, you know. Summary, guys, and how the British Embassy helped me escape the whole thing, and how I also got abused, raped, molested, whatever, in the process of me trying to escape from that whole process. And that's a good night for me, guys. Like, tell a friend, like, seriously, comment. If you don't want more stories, just comment that shit. You get it? I just need to know.
Now, having a look at that history is a long story that she gives and narrates, and she will keep on giving us the narration until how she came to recover. This is not easy, but she fought until her last breath. And indeed, she might run away from Somalia, the country that never gave her peace, the motherland that she thought was to give her education, was to give her the knowledge, was to give her the passion to pursue in her life. But this is the country that ruined her life under the care of her parents until she denied their parents. She no longer accepts the father. She keeps on saying, even she changed the name of the father because of what she went through under their parents' care. And now, how many young girls from Somalia, they are undergoing such kind of torture? They are undergoing under their surviving, or they are not surviving under that kind of pressure. This is a story that has to take another angle. But keep journeying with me as I give you the story, part 3 of Sumaya, coming soon. This is PTN TV with me, Professor Ezekiel Orero.